Today's episode is brought to you by Ingarden, the hassle-free indoor smart garden for growing microgreens. These mini greens have a major nutritional impact, even more so than full-grown veggies, which I had no idea until I started this whole process on my own. They're perfect for reaching your health and nutrition goals. They're so easy to grow without any green thumb needed. And believe me, I do not have a green thumb. So if I can do it, you can do it. I love that it's sleek. It can sit on your counter, or if you didn't even want it on your counter, it's completely self-sufficient to literally go anywhere in your house as long as you have a plug to plug it into. Water it once a week. Like I said, super easy, which anybody out there who's busy like Brooke and I are, which I'm sure all of you are, you need easy in your life. Check out ingarden.com to learn more and save 20% off with our code REPS20.
Did you know that more than half of Americans are on a high deductible health insurance plan? On the hook for thousands of dollars of deductibles, co-pays, and sky-high premiums. Dude, health insurance is terrifying. It terrifies me. The moment I was no longer on my parents' health insurance plan was the most terrifying experience, trying to do it on my own, really adulting. Well, CrowdHealth is a really wonderful place to start. It isn't health insurance. It's a better way to pay medical expenses. CrowdHealth is a community of people who are tired of paying for a broken system. It's a place where you can get a simple, flexible, and affordable way to pay for your health care. CrowdHealth is so simple. Using their app, find nearly any doctor in the country ranked from 1-star to 5-star. Scan bills and throw them away because CrowdHealth takes it from there. And to make it even more simple, by the press of a button, you can receive virtual care anytime, anywhere. CrowdHealth is able to offer amazing prices because of its community of health-conscious members. But for a limited time, our listeners get their first month free. And after you've been a member, CrowdHealth will include a fitness wearable. That's 30 days to try risk-free plus the fitness wearable. Just go to joincrowdhealth.com/fit and enter code REPS at sign-up. That's joincrowdhealth.com/fit with the promo code REPS. CrowdHealth is not health insurance. It's a community-powered alternative. Term and conditions may apply. I have been traveling a lot lately, and oh man, really the only thing that keeps me sane in these back-to-back trips is my music or my Netflix, something, my audiobook on planes and in airports during layovers. And I cannot rave about the Raycon headphones enough. Whether you use them to pump up, wind down, work, or work out, Raycons are go-to for on-the-go audio. With Raycon, you get 3 new sound profiles to make sure everything you are listening to sounds its best. Another thing that I love about the Raycons is there's a built-in mic, so you can take your calls on your earbuds at the press of a button. Right now, the Between the Reps listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/reps. That's buyraycon.com/reps to save 15% on your Raycons. Again, buyraycon.com/reps. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Between the Reps with Brooke and Jeanna. And we have a guest on. We actually had mentioned to you guys we were going to have more guests coming on, and very excited to have Natalie Paterson. She is here from Ingarden to talk about Ingarden and microgreens and the amazing product that they sell, which Jeanna has been growing our microgreens at her house.
I have. Ooh, I can even take my computer over. Yeah. And you're going to have to tell me, Natalie, what to do with this, because I don't know if Brooks told you, but I don't eat vegetables. I'm terrible. I'm the worst.
I'm going to just pretend I didn't hear that.
Okay. I know. I'm just being truthful. Okay. Hold on.
Honesty is always key.
Yeah. This is Natalie's amazing product. Here, I'm going to walk you guys over here.
I love this.
How cute this thing is.
Look at it. Oh my God, it fits perfectly. Yay.
Isn't it adorable?
I'm biased, but yes.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
No, it's so cute. I feel like everyone was over this last weekend and they were like, what is this? I was like, oh my God, isn't it the cutest thing? I feel like they're my pets.
Right. Honestly, I definitely, I like how you mentioned your people over. I think it is a conversation piece regardless, because either it's like, what on earth are you doing over here?
Yeah.
To like, oh my gosh, like this is aesthetic. But have you, the real question is, have you at least tried them?
Well, no, because that's the first ones that I've grown.
Okay. They're still growing.
I mean, I think one of them is grown to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it's literally like, it's like having like a little baby or something.
Yeah.
And every day you go in and you're like, oh, they grew a little bit.
Yeah, no, that I feel like that's definitely something that's awesome about microgreens in general, is that they do have a really fast growth cycle. So you're not waiting for, say 4 weeks just to see one tiny sprout. You get every day, as you just said, you get to see new growth.
Yeah.
And I think, for us impatient people, myself included, it definitely helps. And then, the fact that obviously it's very automated, right? So
it's so easy. It's so easy. I mean, if I can figure it out, anybody can figure it out.
I think this is the perfect time for Natalie. Two questions. First, what are microgreens?
Okay, good. Yeah. Good start. Because
I was reading like what they were. I was trying to compare like because I just took the seed pads out without really looking to see what they were.
Yeah.
Just threw them in there. One of them was like, I was like, broccoli.
Yeah. So the good, I suppose, foundation to start off before we dive into the fun stuff. Microgreens, what are they? They are simply the baby versions of the vegetables we already know, and unless you're Jeanna, eat.
True.
So as you mentioned, broccoli microgreens, red cabbage microgreens, kale microgreens, arugula microgreens, etc. Right? These are all, vegetables we have a sense of familiarity with, and microgreens are simply the baby versions of them, right? These are what these vegetables look like before they are fully grown. And we obviously will dive into, okay, what's the point? What's the benefit, right?
Yeah.
But just as a general definition, like that's how you should think about it. And I think what's great about it, because of that, it's not a foreign, new, strange food concept. Like, I don't know, I think we're all familiar with kombucha now, but when it first came out, I bet most of us were like, what on earth is this weird stuff? But
I wouldn't even drink kombucha because it had like a loogie in it. Exactly. I was like, I'm not drinking that. That is disgusting.
You know what? That is the most accurate description.
Of hard kombucha.
Yeah, big fan.
Big fan.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Best of both worlds there.
Right.
So microgreens, right? They are maybe new, but they are kind of a sense of familiarity just because they are simply a whole food source. They are simply baby vegetables, right? We've all seen baby spinach, but just imagine even more infantile than that, and you'll have microgreens.
Got it.
Yeah.
So eat the babies.
Eat the babies.
Eat the babies.
Listen, we all know.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to be a baby eater.
Dude, you eat a lot of babies.
Yeah, the younger things are usually the better.
Eat them while they're young.
Dude, I just
politically incorrect, but nonetheless true.
Did you hear me?
Oh, yes, I heard you. I heard it.
You heard it.
I heard it.
Oh, eat the babies.
Eat the babies.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
No, I love it.
Bad segue.
So Jeanna's been growing our babies.
I'm growing babies. Now I kind of feel bad. I'm like calling them my pets and my babies, and now I'm going to eat them. I feel like I'm in like 4-H. I don't know, Natalie, do they have 4-H?
4-H. What?
The real question is who gets final custody between you two?
Right. No, like currently, don't they like raise a pig and then for slaughter?
No, I mean, they usually raise an animal. They take it and they show it.
Yeah. And then
they probably
buys it, they slaughter it.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what you're going to do with the microgreens.
To eat them. Yeah.
No, grow them, cut them, consume them. Done.
You're in vegetable 4-H.
I am in vegetable 4-H.
See, you start somewhere. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. I actually want to be less attached to them now. So
no. This is opposite of the agenda.
Okay.
You need to be attached.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Be attached.
This is a
Right.
goal.
Okay.
Okay, so
But yes,
Natalie,
microgreens.
you guys, microgreens, they're baby vegetables. And you probably, I mean, everyone's at least encountered them and probably eaten them a lot when you go out to eat and you have salads, or they're added on top of fish, or they're always a garnish, I feel
Yes.
like. Or if it's a salad, it's maybe mixed into the salad, or like something with quinoa, or, you know, any sort of grain dish sometimes.
You're
Wouldn't you
right.
say?
Exactly.
Well, I think that would depend on what part of the country you're in too, or what country you're in.
Oh yeah, true.
I think we're lucky here in I mean, I say lucky in California. I don't know why I just said that, but we tend to have like some more healthier foods available.
Well, vegetation, like a lot of, you know, vegetables grow year round. However, now we're just going to segue right into, Natalie, tell us about Ingarden, because Ingarden is going to solve that problem for a lot of people, no matter what part of the country they are in.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, great point. You're very correct. Microgreens first, popped onto the scene in the world of kind of fine dining, culinary kind of, as you mentioned, a garnish. They have this term also, vegetable confetti, because they are fun, they are cute, they do add that kind of aesthetic vibe to your dishes. However, my mission as a scientist at heart is to help us understand how we can get more for our nutritional buck, like bang for our nutritional buck from our food sources.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Ruby, I'm doing a podcast. Ruby,
hi, Ruby.
Natalie says hi.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. Go to your room.
Oh, I love it.
Sorry,
so
Natalie.
more bang for your nutritional buck. Like that is my goal. And microgreens are one way we can do that, because yes, they are fun, they are decorative, but they are so much more than that. And like my goal, as a human, but also now as a businesswoman, is to educate, right? To let us know that, hey, there's a food source out there that we are not tapping into the benefit of to its full, capacity. And obviously, again, back to my scientist nature, Ingarden, what sets us apart from, say, the microgreens that you buy at the supermarket, or the microgreens from your farmer's market, or, other, say, smart garden companies, is one big factor is that all of our microgreens have been verified for the nutritional content that they provide you. Okay. So for example, if anyone's interested in the numbers, one of my favorite microgreens, I tell everyone, is the red cabbage microgreens, because they're this beautiful, like purple, rich kind of purple green color. And I love them, not only for their aesthetics, but because of their micronutrient content, which is, our vitamins and minerals. So for example, for vitamin A, if you take what we've seen, a mature red cabbage, right? I'm sure we can all envision perhaps what a cabbage, looks like, round, purplish color, mature cabbage, right? Compared to the microgreens. So taking equal serving sizes and let's compare them. So in terms of vitamin A content, the microgreens have 230% more of the daily value for vitamin A than the mature red cabbage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They have 150% more of the folate content. So that's vitamin B9. They have 88% more manganese. And they have, this number is insane, but it's verified, 2,150% more of the phosphorus compared to the mature red cabbage. So that's what I mean by bang for a nutritional buck, right?
Yeah.
These microgreens that you're going to get, like they're, the verification is important for me in this world of health and wellness. There's a lot of information out there, right? Saying, oh, this is good for this and this has this, but like, where's the facts? And so that was a key proponent for me. And like being able to tell you those numbers and like tell you that you are getting, double, triple to quadruple digit more micronutrients by simply, you know, one serving in comparison to mature vegetables, maybe go.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Now, what would one serving be considered?
Good question. So one serving is 85 grams. So 85 grams mature cabbage compared to 85 grams of microgreens. And so, you know, what's pretty cool though is if you take those benefits, right, the double, triple, quadruple digit percent more, it's basically saying, well, technically you could even have a smaller serving and still get more benefit regardless, right? And perhaps, you know, for someone like yourself, Miss Jeanna, who isn't keen on the vegetables, having a smaller serving might be appealing, right? You don't have to eat as much, but you can still get the same or more benefit, which I think is pretty cool. Especially for those of us who, one, can't be bothered to like wash and chop and cook some veggies and you can just throw it on your food, or those who are like, oh, I just don't want to eat many vegetables to begin with, right? It's both categories.
Those that are picky there. Like a small child. Yes, that would be me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Now you can put them in smoothies or something too, right?
Oh my God, exactly. So I think we're all very
Sneak
familiar.
it into your kids' food. Sneak it into my food.
Exactly. I think we've all like touched on adding, say, spinach or like kale perhaps to our smoothies. And so exactly, like you literally can add them to anything, you know, adding them to a dish or even making them like making say a dip or a pesto or like a hummus out of them. You could even like do that in the sense of like incorporating them a little bit more into a recipe, I would say. But like for me, it's like, okay, cool, you know, people listening to this, right? Like, oh, cool, like another product, like what? Like, great, you know, like I've listened to podcasts, I'm like, like I don't really care. And so for me, it's like realizing, you know, I think Brooke, you on your Insta story, you were talking about that book, Atomic Habits. Right. So back to Ingarden, your question of like why Ingarden and the book Atomic Habits, right? One of my favorite quotes from that book is, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems, right? So we all know, no matter who we are, we know that we could be eating a little better. We know that we could be adding some more vegetables, some more fruits, like regardless, like we know we can do better, but the problem is life gets in the way. We don't have the time, you know, we have barriers to putting in that effort, right? And so we fall to the, you know, the level of our systems. And so for me, it's like, okay, cool, I'm super nerdy and passionate about all things nutrition, but I'm also realistic that like, you know, I'm not a green thumb. I don't have the space. I don't have a garden. I don't even have a balcony. Like it's not feasible. Right. Yet I also know that the highest quality of nutrition is straight from the source. So it's like, how do we combine that? For me, it's smart gardening, i.e. something like Ingarden, in the sense of like, okay, now I have a system that is automated, right? That all I have to do is water once a week. If that, the lighting system turns on and off automatically. The watering system is automatic in the sense of like, I don't have to worry about it. I just get to, have the ease and convenience of consuming those microgreens that are going to benefit my health. So that's kind of like okay,
like a crock pot.
Point. Yeah,
it is. Set it and forget it.
Set it, forget it. I'm telling you, it really is. It really is.
Oh my God, I'm stealing that. That's so true.
You know what's so funny is that
you can steal it.
When Brooke told me, she was like, "Hey, we got this thing. Go try it out." I was like, "Oh man, there's gonna be like dirt and all this kind of stuff." Like, I'm going to have to plant seeds. I'm going to have to do all this work.
Brooke, what did you agree to? No.
Because
I told her, I was like,
and then she was like, "I'm leaving town. Go do this thing." And I was like, and the box sat there for a while. I hadn't unpacked it. And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to check this thing out." I was so thrilled that there's no dirt. There's nothing. The seeds are just in this little pad. You just go, bloop. Pour water on it. Like you said, set it and forget it.
That is literally the perfect summary, because at the end of the day, like, I think realizing in terms of like, again, systems, like realizing that in today's world, like I'm sure, maybe we were first resistant to say smartphones or like Google Maps or, crock pots or all these now automated systems we have in our life, but like now we rely on them, and like realizing that more and more technology is now available to help us, really, like it's our own downfall if we don't utilize it, at the end of the day, like I have forgot produce at the back of the fridge, and especially something as like nutrient dense and awesome as microgreens, sadly they are very delicate, and so they do deteriorate fast. Same with like herbs. Like herbs are delicious, but they also go off really quickly, and so I think most of us are like, I'm not going to pay the price for something I'm just going to end up throwing away,
because I need like 2 basil and it's in a pack this big. Sitting in it's like every time.
Exactly. So like for me, like I had the same problems we all do. I had these realistic challenges that I dealt with in my life, but yet I still had this desire for better nutrition. I still had this desire to really achieve that high quality in my food intake and what I'm putting into my body. And so that's kind of like, okay, how can I address all these problems in one? And so that's what my vision with Ingarden is. And like, at the end of the day, as I was saying, like, yeah, I'm a scientist at heart. Like, even if someone just now Googles microgreens, like you did, like even if someone Googles microgreens or, adds that serving of vegetables to their meal after listening to us ramble on today, like that's what I'm here for. Like just making health simplified again. Because I think with all the hoopla of different fad diets and restrictions here and people thinking that it has to look a certain way has just actually like just taking the value of how, easy it can be when you just have a handful of, systems in place that help you. And I know,
I mean, let's be honest though, fast food has been around for a long time. Okay. And it's real shitty for you. So it's nice that you've come up with a fast food.
Yeah, exactly. Make healthy food fast food because we can. I think like meal prep teaches you that as well, which obviously that takes some effort as well. But nonetheless, I feel like once you get into like a habit of meal prep, you realize that, if I make this healthier food just as grabbable and quick and convenient as the bag of chips or whatever it might be, or the fast food joint, then I'm going to reduce that barrier of consumption there. And I think like that sense of like kind of ease and convenience is something that isn't combined with health enough. It's kind of like you are this or you are that, and it's like no. Did you know there's a whole sliding scale
right
that you should make what fits for you? You should do what's right for you. And like I'm just so happy that you, Jeanna, you've had experience with Ingarden now, in the sense of like someone who probably wouldn't buy it themselves.
100% wouldn't have. No, but I'm telling you, like after, like I would definitely say to go buy it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, I know everyone's like, Jeanna, you're really pushing this thing.
No.
You guys, I love this little
I didn't tell her to say it.
No, you didn't. And I just wanted to experience it before we came on and talked about it. And I absolutely love it. And I think what's really cool about it too, for those, you're not trying to, I mean, you can explain like the whole setup of it better than I can. But I mean, you can literally put this anywhere. I mean, as long as you have a plug. And I thought it was really cool too, that there's all these adapters. So you can literally plug it in anywhere.
Yeah.
Any country. I was like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's like,
yeah,
I did. I loved it. I was like, this is so cool.
Plugging things in holes.
This goes in my hole. The right one for my hole.
Was there an adapter for your hole?
I got it hooked up right now.
You can literally take it anywhere.
Mission success.
My mom.
Oh my God. No, but
I can't just walk over here. I can't hear it. I got my headphones in. They're the only headphones I can find.
Sorry, Natalie. This happens all the time.
Oh my God, you're so fine.
I can't hear anything because these are, I don't
That's
hear
me all the time.
I love you.
Yeah, really. Love you, Leslie.
They say they love you. She loves you too. I have been traveling a lot lately, and oh man, I mean, really the only thing that keeps me sane in these back-to-back trips is my music or my Netflix, something, my audiobook on planes and in airports during layovers. And I cannot rave about the Raycon headphones enough. Whether you use them to pump up, wind down, work, or work out, Raycons are go-to for on-the-go audio. With Raycon, you get 3 new sound profiles to make sure everything you are listening to sounds its best, with just the right amount of bass. Pure mode for podcast listening, blues, instrumental. Balanced mode, podcast listening, rock, heavy rock metal. And then the bass mode, which is for sure my favorite, hip hop, EDM, reggae, etc. Right now, the Between the Reps listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/reps. That's buyraycon.com/reps to save 15% on your Raycons. Again, buyraycon.com/reps.
Brooke and I are always trying to find a different way to kind of boost our nutrition. So we love Organifi. Organifi is a line of organic superfood blends that offer plant-based nutrition with high-quality ingredients and less than 3 grams of sugar. They choose the highest quality plant-based ingredients for optimal health. Every blend is science-backed to craft the most effective doses with ingredients that are organic and free of fillers when possible and contain less than 3 grams of sugar. You guys, that's so much nicer than some of the juices that you get out there. Only 3 grams of sugar per serving. And also, they're glyphosate-free when possible. It's easy to use by simply mixing in with water or your favorite beverage while on the go, while providing you with quality nutrition throughout your day. And it tastes good. There's been so many times that I've tried to boost my nutrition by drinking juices that just taste awful. You got to plug your nose while you're drinking it. They have so many to choose from. They have green juice, red juice. They have another one that they call Organifi Gold. They've got a gold chocolate, pumpkin spice. Hello? And my favorite, the Organifi Glow, because it's great for your complexion. And remember, it's less than $3 per day. That's nothing. Organifi takes pride in offering the best tasting superfood products on the market at a price that works out to less than $3 a day. You can experience Organifi's high quality superfoods without breaking the bank. Go to Organifi.com/reps and use code REPS for 20% off your order. That's ORGANIFI.com/reps and use reps for 20% off any item.
What I was saying is that I was like, oh, I mean, it is so aesthetically pleasing that I don't mind having it in my kitchen and I have enough space for it. But at first I was like, well, I could always like plug it in the laundry room or something because it's all built in. I mean, it doesn't need to have light or anything else. So
no, definitely. For me, like at the end of the day, what I've learned a lot through like currently pursuing my MS in food science is that one of the biggest problems we're tackling as, the food industry is like, how do we feed a growing population, right? Mm-hmm. How do we tackle this problem? And indoor gardening is one of those ways because it's we as consumers, right, taking back the power of where our food is coming from. Mm-hmm. And like there's no, second guessing, okay, you've watched the microgreens go from seed to microgreens. And in some sense, that process is rewarding. Like I know I told you guys how my first, coming across the channel was actually with your pineapple coconut chicken recipe like 4 years ago. And like, I think, to my point of creating something from start to finish, there's just some psychologically like rewarding sense of that. Like you want to eat that dish more, right? Or with the microgreens, like, you mentioned appealing to kids. Like it's one way we can help even our kids be more curious about trying a vegetable, and even us, right? Like it's fun. Like we can't deny that it's fun to wake up and see something has changed. Like it's like, what's like something new today, new growth. And like that kind of connection there is something that in my young childhood growing up in New Zealand, I was kind of ingrained with, like this more like holistic view of food and connection to it. But then in our modern lifestyle these days, we are very removed. Like, I remember I read a study once that like children were asked like what chicken nuggets were, and like in comparison to like actual meat.
I've heard about that.
Like no clue what it was, right? And so like for me, understanding that from kids to adults, or even as you mentioned, when friends come over, like it's a conversation piece. It can be on your kitchen island, on your counter, on your coffee table, in your living room, on a like I have mine on a shelf. Like I literally have like 3 on a shelf because obviously I'm a little obsessed, but nonetheless, it's very aesthetic.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
I don't have the time or mental capacity to worry about it either. So just having that automation is like, it's like so many levels of pleasing, right? Like aesthetically, for my body, for my stress levels. And like, yes, I'm so in love with it because I saw issues and I tried to solve those issues, right? But nonetheless, I think whoever you are, whatever level of health you're on, whether you are that, real gung-ho looking for the next best thing, well, microgreens really are it, right? Or you're like I know I should eat more vegetables, but like I'm not really keen, then it's for you too, right? On that sliding scale kind of analogy that I was using, like it can be applicable for all of us. And not only microgreens, even if you buy a, grow your own lettuce, home garden. I don't know what you know what I mean? Like it can be anything, but obviously I'm biased for the microgreens, but nonetheless.
Honestly, I think you're biased. You should be. I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
go.
Fucker.
I know. Sorry.
God, you're just so excited because you got to grow our garden. You got to grow our garden.
I'm considering every meal farm to table from now on.
There we go.
Every meal that I serve. This is from my farm.
She's now too bougie for you. Sorry.
The closest thing
Sorry, go ahead.
to our garden is the fact that you sent me progress photos.
I did.
That's the closest I've gotten to our garden.
Naked with my greens.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But what I was going to say is like, I've never really known the purpose of them, right?
Yeah.
I've known the idea around they've got to be more nutrient dense, great addition, but especially without me having a reason to really dive deep or an interest to dive deep into what they do, or like how we can really use them, and like the way we should use them, and how more people should definitely be using them and capitalizing on them. I had no idea, like just how nutrient dense. And then not more than that is, within diet and training and focusing so much on nutrition and so much on following a very specific diet and trying to reach your goals. For me, the last thing I've always really considered, which this is not the way to do it, people, okay? But when you are learning so much and practicing so much, and for me it was sport and it was nutrition, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna eat these things and it's getting me to this. But micronutrients has never been something that I've really like dove deep into to understand, or to really try to make sure I was putting things in my diet to make sure I had those things. And then you have like Jeanna said, she doesn't love vegetables. Like when you really look at the amount of something you have to eat, like a vegetable at its whole, to get what you want to get from it, there's no way.
Yeah. So no, you bring up so many good points.
This is definitely should be and is. I mean, it's life altering for majority of people, and so simple. And you don't have to, you can spread out your servings among your meals throughout the day. You can be extremely creative with how you eat them, and it gets even the Jeannas of the world who hate vegetables.
Thank you for being our spokesperson.
She wasn't even really interested until she got to experience growing it herself, and now she's like, oh my god,
I'm excited to eat you.
No, seriously, you just raised so many points that I'm like, oh my God, I want to touch on all of them. So let me try to like pick and choose. So the first thing you mentioned in regards to, it says the meeting has been upgraded by okay, cool.
Yeah, we're good.
So in regards to, coming from a background of a professional athlete, right? And how important, your macros are and hitting them. And, you start to realize, I think when you get at that level, like you start to realize, wow, the biggest difference to my level of performance and also how I look actually is the nutrition side of it. The fitness is obviously a very important component, but nonetheless, I think the details really come in when you are, manipulating your macros. And like my experience was that is when I was 16, I was like, okay, I was living in central London and I was like, I'm not doing sports anymore. I need to be active. And so I fell into the world of bodybuilding for a passion, not the competing side of it. But that was my first introduction of like, oh, there's such things as macro, like what is that? Like, I have no idea what the, like, oh my God, a potato is a like carbohydrate source. Oh, interesting. Like, oh, fish and chicken. Oh, that's like, I had no idea. And like, for me now, all these years later with degrees behind my belt, I'm like, oh, wow. Like to remember back then how I thought about food versus how I think about it now. I kind of use that insight in teaching my undergraduate nutrition classes. Like what I teach them is like, okay, what are micronutrients? I think for the most part, most of us often because of, I think, social media have a rough understanding of like macros or like if it fits your macros, like even if they don't really get what macros are, I think we all understand. Like,
I 100% did not know what macros meant until I started hanging out with Brooke and they just kept talking about macros. And I was like, what? I mean, I'm macaroni and cheese. What is a macro? Break it down.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, I think they have definitely got the center stage. People are like, okay, I know that I need to eat a certain number of protein, carbs, and fats to fit my daily like caloric goal. I think for the most part, more and more individuals are understanding that. But I think micronutrients are still not really getting the attention that they need to get. And most of us see, coming from my understanding of bodybuilding, supplements is where you're getting your micronutrients from. That's the kind of like knee-jerk reaction. Oh, like gotta have my supplement stack, that makes money. That sells products. So for me, my background in like nutritional biochemistry gave me this like deep dive, big picture view of like, oh my God, okay, we need to eat vitamins and minerals, are micronutrients, right? That's what they are. But like, why? Right? Like what's really going on? What's happening inside of me? Why do I need these? Because, my grandma told me that I need to eat my, make sure you eat your vegetables, fruit to get your vitamins and minerals. But like, why was always my burning question. And like from my introduction into fitness and like realizing, oh my God, okay, so manipulating your diet can manipulate how you feel, how you perform, how you look. But then the kind of, I suppose, silver lining through that all is the micronutrients. So what I tell my students is micronutrients are the tools that your body needs to function optimally. So you give it the carbohydrates, you give it the protein, you give it the fats, right? The macronutrients. But to actually do something with those, to actually utilize them, you need the tools, right? It's like you have all the builders in your body now, right? Like say the amino acids to help build them. We have the builders, but to actually, for those builders to do their job, they need tools. And those tools, in this analogy I'm going with, are the micronutrients, right? Like the builders need their like tool belt, right? Like if it's empty, they can't do their job. And so if we aren't getting sufficient quantities of micronutrients in our diet, then unfortunately, the functioning, our body functioning is just not as optimal as it could be. And the thing with, nutrition is that we don't feel symptoms right away. Like we don't notice it. It can present itself in like drier skin or, our hair, say losing its like health and richness or nail quality or like our immune system weakening or whatever it might be.
I know we both heard hair and I was like,
Shitty hair, bad nails. Gina, we just don't eat enough.
Guys, I'm here to solve your problems.
Apparently not.
Again,
so
nuances.
Gina got the Ingarden. I'm going to order one immediately since she's already found the plug for her hole.
Yeah.
There we go. You know, solving problems on all the levels.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So like that's my point. Like that's what I try to simplify it, right? Because not all of us really have the understanding
background. Yes. No.
Well, just more of appreciation. Like if we don't see why it's important, right. then we're not going to value it. If we don't have some sense of experience.
Was hair, skin, and nails. It's all about vanity for me. I'm sold. Boom. Okay.
There we go. Collagen production.
Yes, perfect.
Whatever it is. Microgreens are the answer.
If we didn't know that, Gina, I mean, I could have assumed it. Like it would make sense, right? But I've never assumed it. And I am constantly I'm constantly on a journey. Yes, I've been on the hunt for years of like, how do I fix this problem I have? Like, how do I make this better? And I've spent so much time working with like dealing with nutrition and like the classes and then the interning and like, and doing all this stuff. And I've never made that connection, which then tells me, Natalie, that like, there's got to be a large percentage of our listeners that have no fucking idea either.
Probably
and
not. Also,
majority of our listeners listening to this podcast are going to go out and start eating some microgreens.
I hope so.
No, like great, like point. Like that's my frustration is like, I feel selfish for like the knowledge that I've been able to gain. And yet it's so simple. Like it's actually so simple. It hurts. But the thing is like, telling people to just eat more whole foods and vegetables, like that doesn't sell a product really. Like that's cheap. You know what I mean? That's like, and another thing is like, we've all touched and been eating food since before we even like could speak. So like really me telling you just eating more, you know, greens, microgreens, or just whole foods and vegetables in general. Oh my God. Like that's the answer. No, that's too simple. It must be more complicated than that. I need to go look for the like $60 per, you know, one bottle of supplement. Cause that's probably the answer. Right. And like, I'm not saying supplements don't have their value, but unfortunately the supplement industry, like it just isn't regulated. And that kind of guarantee or verification is more like brand based. Like it's you're trusting the company that they're doing it right more than in like a guarantee or assurance, right? But when it comes to whole foods, especially like obviously me and wanting to verify that, I know it's a whole food and I know the scientific literature says and verifies how great microgreens are, but I want to know if the seeds that I'm selling do deliver said, you know, micronutrients. And some of those minerals that I mentioned, they are really important in collagen synthesis, which is important for keeping our skin, hair, and nails strong, right? And so it's like realizing that, oh my God, all I need to do is give my body the tools it needs to do the job it's supposed to do. But if it doesn't have the tools it needs, you know, having these healthy hair, skin, or nails, it's not a priority, right? Keeping our heart beating and our lungs functioning, that's more of a priority than beauty, you know, from the body standpoint.
I mean, speak for yourself.
From the, you know, internal world.
Absolutely not.
So let's help it out.
Take my heart, don't take my beauty. Don't take my beauty.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you know what? It's like backwards. So we need to then utilize the tools that are, you know, accessible to us to then achieve whatever we want, whether it be more performance-based or vanity-based or both, because, you know, best of both worlds, right?
Best of both worlds, baby. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I think too, you know, like you can tell people like, hey, just eat more of this. And it's like, oh, okay. I think it's so much harder, or would feel like so much more of an inconvenience for most people to have to go to the store and search out these things. So the convenience factor of having, one, verified seeds from Ingarden, two, it readily available right in your home,
and it's beautiful. It's like a centerpiece. Everyone loves, I mean, most people like to have plants in their house.
Yeah.
Right. and then 3, it's just, it's right there, there's, and you can consume, like you said, even if you don't want to consume a full serving, even if you do a smaller portion, you're still getting more than you would get from eating the vegetable at its full size and growth.
Exactly. No, something I tell, again, my students is when it comes to drinking water, actually, I'm always like, listen, in sight, in mind, out of sight, out of mind, like in sight, in mind, have your water bottle with you, have it in front of you, have it near you. You're going to be more inclined to drink more. And the same with having the Ingarden right there on your countertop, not at the back of the fridge where you have to wash and prep and cook and blah, blah, blah. No time for that. Right. It's right there. Even if you ordered a pizza and are about to Netflix and chill, if you simply just cut some microgreens and sprinkle it on that pizza slice, then guess what? You have already up-leveled your nutrition, right? You're already putting those micronutrients, more of those micronutrients into your diet, that in an easy, effortless way. And I like what you mentioned too about like going out to the store and sourcing these and farmers market, whatever that is. Like, again, like that is effort, that is time, that is something that most of us, when we're trying something new, don't want to waste energy on, in a sense, right?
Right. And you're not going to buy enough to sustain you for, you know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
with it just growing there, you can just be like thinking.
Yes, right exactly. There. Exactly. There. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like accepting that easier isn't a bad thing is so important, because I think some of us, like we follow expert athletes like yourself, Brooke, and might think, oh my God, like we have to be so dialed in, but yet it's a sliding scale, what works for you. And the thing that's great about microgreens, they are simply a vegetable, a whole food. They're not some thing you have to eat at a certain time or prepare in a weird way, right. They're just there.
Yeah.
Growing happily.
Just waiting to be eaten.
Exactly.
You guys, you know what really stinks? When you book a flight off of Google and it redirects you to another, like to the airline or whatever, their website, and you get your whole flight booked, you're ready for it. And then the day before you leave, you go to check in and find out that you actually booked it for November you booked it for the wrong date. That stinks. But you know what? You don't have to stink with Native. If you have not tried Native deodorant yet, you have got to give it a try. Native cares about the products you put on your body. They're about stopping the stink right away. That's the Native difference. And yes, Native also has a broad spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen for your face and body. It's lightweight, absorbs quickly, and you can choose between unscented or coconut and pineapple. I'm an unscented kind of gal. And new for fall, they have the Coffee House collection. We're looking at scents like oat milk latte, matcha and sweet cream, Earl Grey and mulberry, cherry and vanilla macaroon. Also, these scents are available in the classic deodorant, sensitive deodorant, and the body wash. Plus, there's plastic free in the Earl Grey and mulberry. There has not been a scent that I haven't been interested in trying. Obviously, some more than others, but I will say this fall Coffee House collection, I'm pretty excited to use my Earl Grey and mulberry. Stay fresh, stay clean with Native by going to nativedeo.com/reps or use the promo code REPS at checkout and get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/reps and use the promo code REPS at checkout for 20% off your first order.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. And another big thank you to Ingarden for sponsoring our podcast. Microgreens are truly the next big thing in nutrition, and we are so excited to be incorporating them into our diet with our tabletop hydroponic smart garden Ingarden. With up to 2,150% more of the nutritional daily value per serving compared to fully grown vegetables, these organic, non-GMO greens are the key to fresh, accessible nutrition. And I don't know about you guys, but I would much rather get all of my nutrients in a smaller amount so I'm not having to jam so many full-grown vegetables. And I had never grown microgreens. This is so easy. I feel like it should be called growing microgreens for dummies because if I can do it, you can do it. It's totally hassle-free. It's super sleek. I love the design of it. It's totally herbicide and pesticide free. And each microgreen that Ingarden offers is verified for its nutritional integrity by scientists, so you know exactly what fresh, clean nutrients you're putting in your body. And guess what? You can get an exclusive 20% off for listening with the promo code REPS20 that can also be found in our show notes for today. Let's get growing for a better you.
Did you know that more than half of Americans are on a high deductible health insurance plan? On the hook for thousands of dollars of deductibles, co-pays, and sky-high premiums. Dude, health insurance is terrifying. It terrifies me. The moment I was no longer on my parents' health insurance plan was the most terrifying experience, trying to do it on my own, really adulting. Well, CrowdHealth is a really wonderful place to start. It isn't health insurance. It's a better way to pay medical expenses. CrowdHealth is a community of people who are tired of paying for a broken system. It's a place where you can get a simple, flexible, and affordable way to pay for your health care. And being in the CrowdHealth community can save you hundreds of dollars monthly and put thousands of dollars back in your pocket. It's flexible. The membership as a monthly subscription, you start or stop when it's convenient for you. Simple and transparent pricing, so there's not going to be any hidden fees. It's customized to fit your needs, and CrowdHealth lowers your monthly healthcare costs, and you can see any doctor you want. CrowdHealth is able to offer amazing prices because of its community of health-conscious members. But for a limited time, our listeners get their first month free, and after you've been a member, CrowdHealth will include a fitness wearable. That's 30 days to try risk-free plus the fitness wearable. Just go to joincrowdhealth.com/fit and enter code REPS at sign-up. That's joincrowdhealth.com/fit with the promo code REPS. CrowdHealth is not health insurance. It's a community-powered alternative. Term and conditions may apply.
All right, Natalie, I've got a few questions I want to hit on that I think that some of the listeners might be wondering.
Sounds good.
So, first, would you or could you eat them cooked?
Ooh, good question. Okay, so
I imagine that some vegetables you cook it to a certain point and it kind of it doesn't make it as nutritional anymore.
Yes. Okay. So because microgreens do fall in the family of resembling things like herbs or lettuces, right, on the more raw side of things, the optimal way to consume them is raw. Nonetheless, if you have a dish, sauteing in a pan and you're almost finished it and you throw the microgreens in and just toss them around and then plate the dish, and that's fine.
Right.
It's not like they die at the sight of heat, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's just don't cook them from start to finish, as you say, frying the onions to then frying, say, your vegetables or what, just don't, put them in at the beginning, but more so the end, and you'll be fine. Putting them, stirring them into a soup or a chili or grain-based bowl or meal, as you mentioned, that's appropriate too. But just definitely optimal, always know raw in the case of microgreens is best.
So really just maybe always think of them as a garnish, in the sense where if you have a heated dish, use them at the very end and then mix them up, and they'll kind of soften up a little bit, but they're already so soft. They're so delicate.
They are. I want to grow them and just sleep on them. They're so spongy.
Oh my God. You guys,
I'm so excited about it.
Listen, my obsession is real. So you just added to it. Now microgreens are going to be everywhere.
On microgreens.
She's got
it's a new use.
These beautiful, a bed that's just
breaking news. Microgreens taken too far.
Seriously. A very unhealthy relationship with my microgreens.
Too many holes plugged.
Oh my goodness. All right,
another question. Are microgreens toxic to pets? Obviously, I would say no.
Ooh, this is a good question. Yeah, no, they're actually great for pets. So I don't have any pet in my right now in my life. Nonetheless, what's so cool is I've noticed I suppose a growing trend of dog owners, especially, of how can I, feed my pet the most human food as possible. I know at my local farmers market, there's these lovely ladies who sell dehydrated chicken breasts that she for dogs, but technically we could eat them. But they're packaged for the dog. So like, wouldn't want to, but nonetheless, like technically we could. And so yes, microgreens are actually great for pets because again, we are animals, right? Humans are animals and pets are animals. We're just on a slightly different timeline than them in terms of evolution, but nonetheless, we're both animals. And so yes, they are safe for pets to consume and great for your pets. So if you are the pet, lover, owner, and want to up level your pet's nutrition too, then microgreens are also the answer. So at this point, I don't know what they can't do besides be a bed. We're still working.
We're not there yet.
They can't be a bed.
We're just not there yet.
We're getting there.
Natalie, I need you to work on that.
An additional would probably be, you have people that when it comes to babies and they home make baby food, right? Like they do all the thing. It'd probably be a really good option. You could probably chop them up and mix them in there too.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm actually glad you said that because my master's thesis research is actually looking a little bit side tangent than microgreens. I'm not that obsessed, but no, I'm actually looking at essential fatty acids and how important they are for brain development for infants. And the same applies to micronutrients. So in the world of nutrition, when someone says it's an essential nutrient, like our essential amino acids, right? These are nutrients that our body cannot synthesize itself. Like we can't make it itself. There's some nutrients that we can. Cool, great. But when they're not, and when they're essential, we must get them from our diet. So if we're not getting them from our diet, we ain't getting them magically from anywhere else. So we're deficient. And so what's cool about micronutrients when it comes to, infant health, as you mentioned, is like infants are even more, I suppose, at a need of getting micronutrients from their diet, because whether it's from breastfeeding or infant formula, right, that's the only thing they're intaking. And so the kind of area for deficiency is a little tighter because they're not eating a large variety from different sources. Like it's up to us to make sure that
either we're eating
baby is nourished. So yes, no, that is definitely a great point. I didn't even think of that application, but it totally is one.
Yeah. Okay. How do you harvest them?
Oh my God, super simple.
Trim them.
We should create some sort of meme like cut.
You got to
get a pair of kitchen scissors.
Thinking about just going and cutting one and trying one.
Do it. No, actually do it. I dare you to. Yeah.
All right, you guys keep talking.
Take us with you. She left us. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. So what's cool about them, they actually all have a slightly different flavor. So I hope she doesn't pick the radish, mustard, or arugula because they're a little more spicy. Yeah.
So I'm going to warn her when she can hear me again. Okay, so I was just telling Brooke that be warned because they actually all different in taste. Some of them are a little sweeter and less strong. Some of them, including the mustard, the arugula, or the radish, they're a little more spicy. So if you get a kick, you probably chose one of those three.
I'm okay with a kick.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm okay with a kick.
Don't want a horrible surprise. After all this talking,
please don't act like you hate them.
Pretend you like them.
Gross.
She's like,
no, but these are
Maria, cut this out.
These are
Maria, you gotta cut this part out.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Look at these guys.
Oh my God, that is actually so cute.
Would you know which one this is?
Yeah, hold it still for a second.
Dude, I'm like that mom that can't. I'm like the one that can't figure out how to flip my camera around. Yeah.
Georgina, hold it still.
Oh, okay.
So we can focus, and then Natalie can look at it. Let's see if she can.
That looks like the red cabbage. It's not fully grown yet. That's why it's not that purple yet, but that looks like the red cabbage from what I
cut it too early. Okay.
No, it's fine. It's fine. There's plenty there.
Good.
Gina.
What?
You like it?
Honest review.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
No.
Yeah.
She's like,
no, I'm being serious.
It's just a vegetable.
No, it has a little spice to it though.
Yeah. It definitely, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm so jealous right now. Fuck you. She's gonna be like, I like Ruthie's.
Oh, now you get to eat them.
This is our
She's
baby.
like, do you see my hair growing yet? Is
Yeah, I know. It's all no, that's just my hair extension.
Dude. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
no, it was good.
So I think what's great is that you can have fun with it. Like, I think sometimes I know me, like, I think we all go through a fitness/food journey. And in the sense of like, having fun with food is kind of being lost the more we get like, oh my God, is this good? Is this bad? What's this? Where's it come from? Blah, blah, blah. Like, this person says this, and then this person says this, and I don't know anymore. But like, food is more than just like the nutritional value. It's about socializing with friends. It's about like childhood memories. It's about sometimes religion or your culture, whatever it might be. Like, it's the value of food is more than, the nutritional value, but it's also like a soul value in a sense. And like, having fun with food like that, it's not only just more enjoyable in general to like eat healthier when you can have fun with it, but psychologically it's just beneficial for us,
Yeah. Love it.
Okay. So when
you do another, go ahead.
Yeah. Back off, buddy.
Hey, you're being real snippy with me.
Sorry, I am still just, when I tell the story of my hair.
You're like, sorry, I'm just really upset about my hair right now.
No, dude, you have no idea.
I do have an idea.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. 2 questions, 2-part. Because we didn't see Jeanna, because as I was like, Jeanna, take us with you.
Oh, sorry.
She like threw her headphones out.
I was so dramatic about it.
Oh, take us with you.
Yeah. Sorry.
When you cut them, I guess, how much do you end up like, is there a point where people should, sometimes people would maybe, I would imagine with some vegetables, they end up cutting off more than they should or more than they need to throw away. So like in this case, they would leave behind maybe more than they should.
Ooh, this is something I hadn't thought about. Yeah, no, this is a great question. I think my best friend Chloe and I, one thing we always love telling people is like about broccoli stems. Like, oh my God, if you just, cut around and take off the outer kind of layer of the stem, it's actually really tasty, like really kind of sweet. Say like the microgreens, cut as low as you can. Like, utilize. Well, I just
fucked that up.
No,
I knew it. I knew it. And that's why I asked. I was like, she needs to know how to harvest these.
What a polite way of. Hey, don't worry.
Oh, babe,
you have multiple seed pads growing.
Yeah,
so cut, honestly, again, like you don't have to, like, you're still going to get a benefit, but like I'm a bit obsessed with getting the most I can, especially like most value as well. So I like go as low as you can, just get low.
Got it. Get low.
You can just go back over there and just eat the rest of it. You just cut the rest of it.
I'll just cut the rest of it and eat it. Okay. Yeah. All right. I will do that.
Yeah. I definitely know in terms of like the seed mat though, sometimes some of the seeds sprout in a certain way that some of like the seed mat material kind of lifts a little bit. So like just avoid that, you don't need to be like eating bits of that. I mean, it won't kill you, but like as we're trying to, make this a favorable experience.
Don't be eating that.
Got it.
Don't want to see people chewing on that. Like, I want to get the most value. Seasonal.
Just like, the whole mat.
Okay, last question, and then I would love for you to basically just, if there's anything that we haven't touched on that you would really love to share with everyone, we can give you the floor. Yes. But what is the shelf life of your harvested? Like 2 questions: shelf life of harvested microgreens. Let's say you go and you cut them all and put them. Maybe what's the best way to package those, store them, and then. Because I don't know, because I don't have it in front of me. And I bet Jeanna doesn't know because she probably did not read
the directions.
She didn't read the whole thing.
But you still figured it out.
Yes.
I did. I mean, I read how to like start it, but I didn't really read anything about it. There's lots of info in there. I don't want to make it sound like it shows up without anything. Worry about your hair.
No, I'm just trying to finish talking and Okay.
I'm sorry about your hair. Because Goodbye.
Tina's leaving the chat.
It wasn't about my hair. I wanted to add, is there, with the seed mats or the seed pads?
Yeah.
Is there a time frame of when you can use them, how, like a length of time before you would need to replace them?
Okay, cool. Good questions. So, storage harvesting question, the answer is just leave them growing. Again, minimize steps, minimize thinking process, like use them. They grow in a week. So they are ready to start eating in a week. And so our, generalized advice is you grow for a week, then you're consuming over a week. Then you replace the, 3 new pads, grow for a week, consume every week. So that's 1 month, right? Grow, eat, grow, eat. And then our subscription service to send you your new eco packs with the new 7 seeds. Again, don't have to think about going to the store to buy it. Comes in the mail for you, ready to start growth, eat, growth, eat. And so, say you're traveling and you don't, you're not home in that eat cycle. Like I, for social media purposes, have to have microgreens growing all the time, right? And like I admit, there is one of my Ingardens, I'm looking at it over there. It is looking crazy because I've been growing it for like 2.5 weeks, and what ends up
like, got a whole forest over there.
Yeah, the kind of the rich green definitely gets a little faded, right? Because from the light, as if you leave your plants out in the sun, or if it's really hot, you can see, say, just plants, I don't know, on the street, some leaves are a little more yellow, but like that doesn't mean bad. That just means a little bit suntan, a little bit sunburn. Yeah. So the point is, like, don't worry about it. Like they're fine. They're not going to die because they are, as long as they have enough water, right, in the ceramic bowl, they won't die. They're going to continue growing, or at least staying alive. Obviously, it's recommended to follow the like grow, eat, grow cycle. Nonetheless, like don't think, oh my God, it's been a week, I have to chop them, because storing them in the fridge, you can do that. But like everything, all the produce we buy in the store or at the market, the farmer's market, like once a food is cut from the life source, it starts deteriorating, right? You're still getting a nutritional value, right? Or why else would we eat these foods? But nonetheless, as time goes on, it just gets lower and lower, right? And so that's why, you could cut them if you want, if it's going crazy, and store them in like airtight Ziploc bag or container in the fridge. But again, I think that's kind of defeating the purpose.
Well, yeah, I'm sitting right there. You just cut it anyway. Why would you cut it?
I'm picturing like you got it growing, right? And you go out of town for a few weeks, and you come home and you got like full-size cabbages.
Oh my God, I wish.
Just like taking over the house.
For instance, like this is like the baby version of like its full-size part. It's full-size. It's adult vegetable, right? You just let it go. No. You let it go too long. You've got radishes, cabbages.
The good news is it's not going to turn into a wild wonderland because of the aspect of it being hydroponic, and like the seed itself, that's where the microgreens are getting all the nourishment. And like once that, runs out, unless you repurpose it, replant it, right, add the additional nutrients to like a fertilizer, or, planting it in the soil, then magic might happening, growing full vegetables. But let's just stick to microgreens.
Right. Yeah.
Preferably.
Unless you want to take up a new hobby. Teach us all when you figure it out.
Perfect kind of hobby for me. It is perfect.
But yeah, so that's the harvesting question. What was the other question? Oh my goodness. I think there was like 2 parts, or did I answer it?
I think you answered them, because it was how long? Right.
Okay, cool. So you said you'll have a question was like, basically, can you, like, how long would you use one seed pad? So you're saying you grow it for a week.
Yep.
Eat it for a week, and then you replace seed pads the next week.
Correct.
So
easy.
And so people that are wondering, it's a subscription service. So you will just have them sent to you, and they'll be ready to plant.
And I think for most of us, some like, I know I hear the word subscription and I kind of roll my eyes like, damn, trying to get my monies. But the way I see it is like, you don't have to do the subscription service, but then you're also adding to your to-do list of remembering to order the, eco pack to come in time so that you have your microgreens. And I guarantee you, like, you can go through the microgreens really quickly. Like, in terms of turnaround, like, it definitely is easy to consume. It's not maybe as cumbersome as, say, larger vegetables and like, oh, like, how am I going to incorporate that into a recipe? Like, whether it's breakfast, lunch, a snack, dinner, microgreens can be a part of that. So that's what makes it kind of easy to just have them incorporated into your lifestyle. And so that's, when it comes to the subscription service, it was me again, like, okay, how can I automate everything as much as possible? Because I need it in my life. And I'm sure, most of us can agree we need it.
Oh, no, I need it. Yeah, I definitely need it. I need it.
I'm so curious now. Nonetheless, we'll stick to topic.
Okay, Natalie, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you would love to share with all of our listeners?
Yes. What can't I say? I feel like we all three could talk for hours. Nonetheless, in terms of, back to Ingarden, something that I kind of definitely like to, I suppose, share is, yes, we spent this whole episode talking about individual nutrition, like how can you better your nutrition? But for me, like when it comes to nutrition, some of the, I suppose, ways we can give back is thinking about it on a larger scale. And so here at Ingarden, we've joined forces with Share the Meal, which is the United Nations food program for sharing meals with children in need. And so for me, that's like, okay, we tick the box of micronutrients in the sense of getting, improving our individual health. But then, how can we then create that, I suppose, domino effect of positivity to the wider global community? And then a third layer to that is we are also you've maybe noticed, when opening the package, like there's no plastic. We are a carbon neutral company, like everything from the, ceramic bowl to the stainless steel, like, place where you put the seed pads or the lighting system, like no plastic, sustainably sourced is just so important. Like as a corporation, as a company, I think that's how, that's how we make change. I think this, like, how do we solve the world's problems? It's like, no, don't think like that. Don't think so big. Like, it's arm's reach,
Yeah,
like,
it's too terrifying.
Like, how can I make a change? And then that person who I help helps another. Like, that's how we make change. And I think that's what a platform like your podcast is doing. Like, someone will listen, maybe tell their buddy, and then they tell, like, that's the domino effect of positivity, And I think for me, like, ticking individual, global, community, and then obviously planetary health, like that, makes me go to bed happy at night to know that I get to be a part of such a positive change. And like, even to get to come on wonderful platforms like this to, again, just like have a chat, like, I think a lot of people are talking about a lot of things, but not everyone's talking about the right things. So it's just nice to have this space where, like, hey, like, we are here to share our experiences. We are here to say, hey, we're real people with real problems, just like you. And there's solutions. Like, let's focus on the solutions. And so that's my little 2 cents there. But
I loved it.
I'm done. I'll stop.
I just have one more question.
Oh, okay.
One more question.
Lay it on me.
I mean, and I'm just really interested. When did you start Ingarden?
Oh my gosh. When did I start Ingarden? Well, my first kind of, I suppose, ideation of the idea came in 2019, like 18, 19-ish, but we actually just only launched this June. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Very, very. Yeah. See, we're babies selling babies.
Yeah.
We are baby now.
You can tell though, it's a real labor of love for you. So
oh my God. Yes, cool. Definitely. What I realized is like, yes, it's great to have so much education, but I just kept having a hunger for doing something about it. I'm like, this is again, back to me saying like, I feel selfish. Like I feel selfish with what I get to know. And like, I just want to kind of, I think as scientists, like I think we're stereotyped in the field of like, you know, say white guys in lab coats who are like in films, like they are the geek or the freak or the villain, you know?
Well,
Yes,
if anybody's watching this, you do not look like that.
Nope.
No.
I mean, thank you.
Beautiful woman here. Okay.
And like for me, I think scientific communication is so important. So yes, like I am now both, like I'm wearing the business hat, but also the scientist hat, or like, I think you guys can relate. It's just this fun balance of you get to show people that, hey, like we're all normal people doing our normal people things in a slightly different way. And so, you know, in the sense of going for your passions, right? Like that's what's going to make you happy, like being a part of that. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy, but like I think kind of like fitness too, like when you keep yourself accountable and when you hold yourself to your goals, like that is what kind of moves you forward. That's what gives you the willpower per se to keep going, right? When the motivation ends, you know, that's what keeps us going, is just remembering like why, like, okay, why did I start this? Why is this important? What's, you know, driving me? And I think that's like, you know, what makes a big difference is, you're right. Like I definitely am just a little passionate, you know, just a little.
I love it though. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, and I think that I commend you for one, like I can only imagine the amount of people in, you know, the world that feel strongly about something, feel like they do have a lot of this knowledge, but probably allow the complexity or the size or the idea, like the size of the problem, to defeat them from actually doing anything about it.
Yeah.
And because it could make you feel like I can't do, like I hate that I know what I would do, but I'm not going to do anything about it. So like congratulations on launching and for taking, like doing something that you really felt passionate about and going for
Thank you.
and committing to it, even though, because I mean, you know, you start businesses, you start startups, you try things, and you really only are going to find out if it's going to, you know, work or blow up or be big if you try. And sometimes things don't work out, but you know, whatever you do, I've had things that do, and I've had things that worked for a while and then aren't working out anymore. But it's like, that's just how you learn. And I think it's very cool. And I thank you. I thank you because you kept going and you launched, and now you're on this podcast with us. And you've taught us some things that I think that me and Jeanna are very excited about.
Yeah. I would also like to thank you. And I think my hair and nails and skin may thank you.
There we go.
Yes, that is the goal.
Yeah, no, like really, really quickly on what you said, in the sense of like, okay, those out there maybe listening, we all deal with self-doubt in some sense. Like one, like I suppose two sayings that everyone gets sick of me saying is, number one, teamwork makes the dream work. And I think you two are a prime example of that. Like, how great is it to have you like each other to keep yourselves accountable and to like keep doing a thing? And, you know, one person, you'll have your back at one time and vice versa. And it's just this nice ebb and flow. And I definitely, I suppose, used to be a little bit more of like, I think bodybuilding does this to you, like lone wolf mentality. Like you get so like, you know, you versus you mentality. And for me, like I've had to learn, like, actually, no, like you don't have to do it all. And like realizing that through the success of a team, like that's what will really push the needle forward. And then like second point, besides teamwork makes the dream work, is I suffer, and still do in many ways, from analysis paralysis, in the sense of how you mentioned, like, oh, you might have a good idea, but you might think you have to know everything. You have to figure it out. You have to analyze this and know this. And what about this and this trend and see this? But no, like you were saying, Brooke, like just trying, like just doing a thing towards something, like that's going to, you know, prove, you know, even if it proves you, hey, this doesn't work, or this isn't actually what you want to do, at least you know now. Like I think, you know, through universities, they always say like that's what internships are for. Like even if you hate it, at least now you know that's not the path you want to pursue. And so I think like those two things is like utilize your resources in terms of your connections, because teamwork does make the dream work, and also just go for it. Like just do it. Even I think that applies to in fitness. Like just believe in yourself to try that rep, and if you get it, it's a new PR, and if you don't, yeah, keep trying.
Yeah, back to the drawing board.
Yes.
We say that all the time in life. Like, well, if it doesn't work out, back to the drawing board.
I've done it at least 14 million times in my lifetime. So
here we are again.
The drawing board. Yeah.
Well, Natalie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Natalie.
Taking the time
Thank you.
sharing your information and creating such an incredible product that Jeanna is falling in love with. And I will soon have one of my own.
I didn't mean to create such a divide. Oh my gosh.
No, it's my fault. It's my fault because
you did give it away.
I didn't give it away. I sold my house. And now
You're like, I just didn't have anywhere to plug it in.
I didn't have a house to plug it in.
Didn't have the right plug for you.
I'll incorporate this into future product design.
Yes.
Solar.
Yes.
Goes with you. It's just like on my backpack.
Just sitting up there.
True minimalistic living.
Yeah. Love it. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yes, my pleasure.
Yeah,
my absolute pleasure. Yay.
Are we
one last thing. Let our listeners know where they can find you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, duh. Okay, so
how do they
my
get this
team is
thing?
always pushing me like, don't forget, you have to, still sell something here. Anyways, so again, I think a picture is worth 1,000 words, and videos even more than that, right? And so back to my thing of curiosity and like just Googling microgreens, or in this case, just go to the website, just check it out, which is ingarden.com. So IN and then garden, GARDEN.com, right? Go look at it. Even if you just want to look at the nutritional facts of the microgreens, we have lovely pictures and stuff, or go to our Instagram or any social media from Facebook to TikTok, whatever. And it's all the same, which is Ingarden_com. And just, I don't know, have fun with learning a little. And if that's as far as you go, then hey, at least you know something new now. You know what I mean? And and so for me, like whatever it might be, I just invite you to check it out and have some fun with it, and even trying it, whether it's Ingarden microgreens or microgreens from your supermarket or your farmer's market. Like be like Jeanna and try some and be like, it's not so bad now, is it?
It's actually good.
There we go.
I'm excited about it.
Oh, and the discount code. Let me not forget the discount code. So all you listeners get a lovely 20% off. And I believe it's reps 20, right? Yes.
I think so. That's right.
Yes, that's what it is.
Should I look really quick?
Logistics, clearly none of us.
I know. They'll
prepared.
One second. No, they'll definitely
not me.
They'll hear an ad. They'll hear one of our amazing ads.
Yes, there we go. And I think, this is another reason to listen to ads, because I know that I tend to skip past them sometimes, but perhaps you will get some value if you listen to the ads.
I would skip them.
I would.
Now that I'm on the other side, I'm like,
now
I get it. I'm
wait.
I feel bad now.
Listen to him.
I feel guilty when I skip other people's ads. I'm like, this is a bad karma.
Oh no.
I just really want to get to the next part of this episode.
But
I was just checking.
That is the code. I am pretty sure.
Okay.
Regardless, it will be in the show notes.
Something
so 20% off, save some money is always a good day in paradise.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Natalie, for taking the time to chat with us and inform us and inform our listeners. Such a great episode. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, right?
I'm so excited I'm so excited to like just fill my day with microgreens.
I know. I'm telling you, B. I'm telling you,
bathing in microgreens.
Once you get this thing, you're gonna be hooked. We're just gonna be talking all about it.
Guys, this is music to my ears. I don't know if you're pulling a leg, but let me tell you, it's me happy.
I am not.
No,
if
I really didn't like it, it's kind of like I have this theory with like babies, right? I don't think all babies are beautiful.
No.
So I will say a baby is beautiful if it's beautiful, but I do think babies are cute because they're like little old men or something, So I'll say they're cute. But same with
you
this,
and the little things and the babies.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. But so I mean, it's not really the same thing, but sort of. If I really didn't like it, I'd probably just have been very quiet this whole time.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, that
but
makes
I really,
me happy.
I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, oh my God, I love this thing. If I don't love it.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes me happy. And like, that's definitely something I like wanted, because I think you can definitely, I think I had told you all in the pre-podcast meeting, like, yeah, you can definitely tell the podcasts that are more like sterile or professional or like, yeah, like it literally sounds like an advert the entire time, and like that is, I don't resonate with that, like as a listener, as a consumer myself, like that's not my go-to. And so to get to be a part of just this organic, authentic, fun conversation, like this is like, I swear I'm gonna be going about my day now like
yeah, well, people have gotten to hear the real you,
like just vibing,
letting that light shine.
There we go. Yes. Right. So my pleasure.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Remember to
rate,
review, subscribe,
5-star rating, 5-star warning. And we'll talk to you guys.
Talk to you guys next week.
Next week.
Brooke and I are always trying to find a different way to kind of boost our nutrition. So we love Organifi. Organifi is a line of organic superfood blends that offer plant-based nutrition with high-quality ingredients and less than 3 grams of sugar. They choose the highest quality plant-based ingredients for optimal health. Every blend is science-backed to craft the most effective doses with ingredients that are organic and free of fillers when possible and contain less than 3 grams of sugar. It's easy to use by simply mixing in with water or your favorite beverage while on the go. And it tastes good. Organifi has different juices to choose from, but I keep saying that I have a favorite, but every one I try is so good. And they all have different properties that help with different things. Organifi takes pride in offering the best tasting superfood products on the market at a price that works out to less than $3 a day. You can experience Organifi's high quality superfoods without breaking the bank. Go to Organifi.com/reps and use code REPS for 20% off your order. That's Organifi.com/reps and use reps for 20% off any item.